these are the things that no one tells you before you start marathon training. In April this year, I ran the London Marathon in 2 hours, 24 minutes and 31 seconds. I'm 42 years old and I've been running for 3.5 years. Right, so let's just get straight into it. Spring or autumn marathon. This makes a huge difference to your training. If you're going to run a spring marathon, you're going to be training throughout what I think are the worst months of the year, the coldest months, the darkest months, the most miserable months, in my opinion. The mornings are darker, the evenings are darker. I love running early in the morning because I get the first run out, especially in the training block when I'm doing 2 runs. I get the first run out of the way in the morning. And sometimes I can go at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And in the winter, it's dark, it's cold. It's so hard to get up and get out of bed when it's like that. For me, anyway, this is just what I feel like. In the summer, like now, well, at least where I live, it's summer. It's so much easier to get up. It's light from above 4:30 in the morning or even early at the moment. This is what I'd wear on those cold winter mornings when it was dark, not so nice outside. I just wanted to stay in bed and not go out running at all. If you don't mind doing a marathon in spring and training like this, then it's fine. But for me, it's so nice to go out in summer with shorts, t-shirt. I thought it might be funny to do the rest of the video like this, but it's 27 degrees outside and I'm absolutely boiling. So I am getting changed right now. Yes, if I was training for an autumn marathon, I'd be training in the summer and there's a possibility of it being hot. But for me, I live in the UK and yeah, it gets hot and the weather's nice now. At the moment, I think we've got like 27 degrees here at the moment, which is brilliant. But at least then you can go out in the mornings or go out in the evenings when it's a bit cooler. So for me, a way to manage this is if I'm running in the winter and it's cold and it's dark and I just don't feel like going out, I just push myself. And I know that once I'm out, I'm okay. I'm feeling all right. If I spend ages thinking about it, I can't be bothered to go out. I don't feel like going out. I don't want to go out at all. Then it gets so much harder for me. I just get out the door and go, and then I actually enjoy it because that's the whole reason I run because I enjoy running. So it makes it so much better. The other way around this is just to run autumn marathons if you like training in the summer. But if you like training in the winter, then run spring marathons. Everyone's different, and this is just my preference and something I just didn't even think about before I started training. And the next one is marathon training affects your family life. I'd go out for a long 2.5 hour run on a Sunday morning, and I get back and I'd be shattered. And my kids would want to play, my wife would want to go out and do things, and all I wanted to do was just lie there and just be like, oh, I don't want to do anything. But you've got to. It's just, if you've got family or if you've got commitments, you're going to have to do things. And to me, I had to make marathon training fit around that. And it was tough, and I didn't really think about that. You're also running a lot when you're marathon training. I was running twice a day. Yes, I was running one run early in the morning, but I was running another run in the evening, and it always coincided with something. There's always something going on, especially when you've got a house with young kids. And the amount of times I sort of had to slip out of the door when the kids were playing up, I did feel guilty. I'm not going to lie. And sometimes I would not go or delay my run just because it was an awkward time. But other times I just went out and my wife was good enough just to carry on doing what she was doing, and it worked. The next one is you need support. My wife has been absolutely unbelievable supporting me and helping me, and she knows it's important to me to train and to run, and in some ways it helps her because I'm in a better mood when I've been out for a run. But her support has been so important to me being able to run the times that I've been able to run and be able to do this, especially as I've got young kids.
Go, go! Away, go!
My wife didn't marry a marathon runner. When we got together and got married, I wasn't running. And now suddenly I've become this guy who's training, and it's not always easy. So training for a marathon affects everyone around you. It's not something I even thought about before I did it. I think for me, the solution to this is to make everyone aware of what you're going to be doing for the next 3 or 4 months. Your training is going to take over a lot of your life, and just make it clear that's what it's going to involve. And if your family or partner or whatever are happy with that, well, hopefully they will be. They might not be, but I think it's better just to say it's going to be like this, so everyone's aware of it, and it's not a surprise. It doesn't get difficult, because the last thing you want to do is go out for a run, and then your partner says, "Oh, really? You're going out again?" And then you feel guilty on the run. It makes it difficult. But the next one is you end up eating loads, and you're always hungry. I mean, I was always hungry, and ate more than I've ever done, especially when I was running 2 runs a day. The evening run, I'd be absolutely starving, like just had to eat everything in sight. And yeah, it makes sense. You're burning so many calories when you're out there running that you're just going to need to replenish them. And if you like eating, it's great. I love eating, so it's an excuse for me to eat and keep eating and keep eating. Now, a good solution I found for this was to eat a lot of nuts and seeds. Because nuts have got a lot of fat and protein, and they really fill me up. I just needed a handful if I was really hungry, a bit more every day. And it really helped satisfy my appetite. And they're really good for you as well. They're really densely packed with nutrients. Next one is your neighbours will think you're crazy. My neighbours sort of see me going out at 5 a.m. on like a December morning, and are like, well, what are you doing? Sometimes I think that to myself, what am I doing? I'm going out 5 a.m. on a December morning, but that's another story. And then they see me going out again in the evening, and I live in a village, and the same people end up seeing me, and I get comments all over the place. And if you're like a private person, you don't like other people knowing what you're doing, it's a thing. It's, you might not like it. To be honest, I don't mind. It's fine. It's funny, actually, when I was coming back from the London Marathon on the train, I sat down, and opposite me on the train was one of my neighbours, and I had the medal around my neck, and she said, that's what you've been doing all this training. Well, the next one is, as you get closer to the marathon, small niggles become like major issues in your head. Like in the few weeks before the marathon, every little ache and pain in my body was like, oh, I must have broken my leg on that last run. I get home, be like, oh no, I'm just not going to be able to do the marathon now. That's it. That'll be nothing. It would just go away in a couple of hours. But everything became major because I trained so hard. I was thinking I cannot get an injury in the last weeks before the marathon. After all this training, I'm in really good shape. Luckily, none of that came to fruition. But it's just another thing that you don't think about when you set up for training, that your mind's going to play tricks on you, and that you're going to worry so much, and that once you've done the work, one small injury could completely derail you and throw you off course and just put you out of something that you've been looking forward to and training for months. Well, and the last one I'm going to go into is stomach issues. For me, this is by far the worst. And it's something that I've struggled with. There was one time when I was out for an early morning run. It was December. It was pitch black. It was cold. There was no one else about. And I was a long way from home. And I just needed to empty my, you know what I'm talking about. And I went into these woods. And as I was there doing the thing, I was there thinking, what am I doing? It's 5:30 in the morning. No one else is around. Freezing cold. I'm doing this when I could be lying in my warm bed. It's actually probably the most depressing thing that happened to me in the whole of the marathon training, and actually for a while. It just all hit me that what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then I just ran home, and I was fine. After that, I was fine. But it just made me think, well, this is just a big commitment. This is something that not everyone does, and I'm putting myself out of my comfort zone. And that kind of thing actually ended up happening quite a bit. I would get stomach issues when I was out on a run because you're just running so much, and you can't sometimes predict what you're going to eat the evening before. And you can't. For me, I didn't want to be so careful with everything that I ate the evening before every single run because, it's 3 or 4 months of training. I want to live a normal life as well. But yeah, the solution to the stomach issues for me, was to eat less fiber the evening before a run. And I'd have to especially do it before a long run because occasionally it would just completely ruin a long run. I just need to go to the toilet and it became a problem. And sometimes I just walk back. But if I was careful with my diet, I ate white bread or things that weren't high in fiber or white rice, pasta, it was much better. Some people say dairy products, cutting down on dairy products helps as well. So if you've run marathons before and you've trained hard for marathons, you will be completely aware of these things and you'll be like, yep, I know that. But if you're new to marathon running, you're about to start a training plan, perhaps you've got an autumn marathon coming up, then some of the things might happen to you, but you'll get through them. It'll be fine. Just enjoy it and don't worry about it too much. If you enjoyed the video or you found it useful at all, please like and subscribe. I know everyone says it on these videos, but it really does help a lot, and it actually gives me a bit of validation that you're finding the content interesting and it's kind of useful to you. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.